She's choking, can't breathe, and instead of helping, the stepmother tells everyone to keep eating. Why is he shutting it down like that? Does she already know what is happening here?
I couldn't breathe. My chest locked up, and no matter how hard I tried, no air came in. We were sitting at the dinner table. I was 15, my dad was right there, my stepmother Carla was staring directly at me. She saw it happening, and instead of helping, she said, calm as ever, everyone keep eating. I tried to speak, but nothing came out. My throat felt like it was closing. My hands were shaking, gripping the edge of the table. No one moved. Then she added, sharper this time, don't make a scene. My vision started to blur. The room felt like it was tilting. I could hear forks scraping plates like nothing was wrong. I pushed my chair back, desperate to stand, and Carla leaned forward, eyes locked on me, and said quietly, sit down. That's when I realized she wasn't going to help me. No one was. And across the table, someone reached for their phone. It was my stepbrother, Ethan. He had his phone halfway out of his hoodie pocket, frozen, like he didn't know which rule mattered more. Help me or listen to her? Carla didn't even look at him, but her voice cut through the room anyway. Put that away. Not loud, not angry, just controlled, like everything else about her. My dad barely glanced up from his plate. What's going on? He muttered, annoyed more than concerned. I tried to answer him. I really did. But all that came out was this dry, broken gasp, like my body had forgotten how breathing worked. My chest burned. My throat felt tight, tight enough that I started to panic, really panic. My hands clawed at the edge of the table, knuckles turning white. And still, no one stood up. No one rushed over. Carla finally looked at me again, her expression completely flat. Not confused, not scared, just irritated, like I'd interrupted something important. Laura, she said, slow and deliberate, you're fine. Fine? No. My vision flickered. Dark spots crept into the edges. I shook my head, trying to force air in, trying to make someone, anyone, understand this wasn't nothing. This wasn't one of her episodes. This was different. I pushed back from the table again, harder this time. The chair legs screeched loudly against the floor. For a split second, everything stopped. Ethan's eyes snapped to me. My other stepbrother went still. Even my dad looked up properly this time. And Carla's expression changed. Just for a second. Something sharp, alert. Then it disappeared. She straightened her posture, folded her hands neatly beside her plate, and said, sit down, now. Like this was about manners. Like this was about control. My knees buckled before I could even decide whether to listen. I dropped back into the chair, dizzy, barely holding myself upright. Across the table, Ethan looked at me, then at her, then, slowly, he unlocked his phone anyway. And this time, he didn't stop. That wasn't new. Carla ignoring me, I mean. But this felt different, bigger, like something had crossed a line you don't come back from. Carla had been in my life for 2 years, ever since my mom died. And from the outside, she looked perfect. Calm voice, clean house. Dinners at the same time every night like we were some kind of magazine family. But inside the house, everything ran on her rules. Unspoken ones mostly. Don't interrupt. Don't complain. Don't embarrass her. And if you did, she didn't yell. She just erased you. Like you weren't worth reacting to. The first time I got sick around her, I remember sitting at this same table, shivering with a fever. I asked if I could go lie down. She smiled in front of my dad and said, dinner's almost over. You can wait. I waited. That's what you did with Carla. You waited. You endured. You stayed quiet. So when my chest started closing up that night, part of me, some small, trained part, thought maybe she was right. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe if I just sat still, it would pass. It didn't. It got worse. My lungs burned like they were collapsing in on themselves. Every attempt to breathe felt smaller than the last. Across from me, Carla watched everything. Not panicked, not confused, watching, like she was making sure no one broke formation. Ethan's phone was still in his hand now, angled slightly toward the table. Recording. I could see the tiny red dot. My vision blurred again, but I caught something else. Carla noticed it too. Her eyes flicked down for half a second, then back up, and her voice dropped, quieter than before. "Ethan," she said, without looking at him directly, "put the phone away." He didn't move, didn't answer, just kept holding it there. And that's when the air in the room shifted. Because for the first time, someone wasn't listening to her. That's when I knew. This wasn't just her ignoring me.
She's not panicking, she's controlling everyone. Why is she shutting this down instead of trying to help? Does she already know what is happening to Laura?
She was controlling it. Every second, every reaction, every person at that table. I tried to stand again, forcing what little strength I had left into my legs. The chair scraped hard against the floor, louder this time, impossible to ignore. My dad looked up, irritated. "Laura, what are you doing?" I opened my mouth. Nothing. Just another hollow, useless gasp. My throat felt like it was sealing shut completely now. Panic hit harder, sharp, overwhelming. My hands trembled as I reached for the table, trying to steady myself. Carla leaned forward slightly, her eyes locking onto mine. And then, under her breath, low, controlled, "Sit down." Not worried, not even pretending anymore, commanding. For a second, I hesitated, not because I agreed, but because I'd spent 2 years learning what happened when you didn't listen to her. I waited. That hesitation cost me. My legs gave out. I dropped back into the chair, dizzy, my vision tunneling so badly I could barely see anything except shapes and shadows. Across from me, Ethan shifted, still holding the phone, still recording. Carla noticed again. This time, it wasn't subtle. A flicker, quick, sharp, of something tense crossed her face. Then it vanished. She leaned back, smoothed her expression, and turned slightly toward my dad, like she was resetting the scene. "He's fine," she said calmly. "He does this when he wants attention." There it was, the explanation, the excuse, the version of me she'd already built for everyone else. And my dad? He didn't question it, didn't stand up, didn't even look at me long enough to see what was actually happening. He just nodded, accepted it, like that was easier. And I sat there, actually suffocating, while the only adult who was supposed to protect me decided I wasn't worth the interruption. By the time the paramedics arrived, I was barely aware of anything. The room felt far away, like I was underwater, everything muffled and slow. My body was heavy, unresponsive. I couldn't tell if my eyes were open or closed anymore. Then suddenly, movement, voices, urgent this time, the front door slamming open. Footsteps, fast and direct. "Where is she?" Hands were on me now, lifting my chin, checking my pulse, pressing something cold against my arm. Air moved around me, but I still couldn't pull it in. Everything blurred together except one thing. A voice cutting through the noise. "How long has she been like this?" Silence. Just for a second. Then Carla answered, smooth and immediate. "A few minutes." That wasn't true. Even through the haze, something in me reacted to that, not even close. And someone else knew it too. "That's not true." Ethan's voice, shaking, but loud enough. Everything shifted. I felt it before I could see it. The attention in the room moved, away from just me and toward him. He stepped closer, phone still in his hand, screen lit up. "It's been way longer." One of the paramedics turned toward him. "What do you mean?" Ethan didn't answer right away. He just turned the phone around, showed them. And even through my fading vision, I could see it. The video. Me at the table, struggling, gasping, fading. Carla's voice, clear in the background. "Everyone keep eating. Don't make a scene. Sit down." 30 minutes. All of it recorded. The room went completely still, different now, heavier. The paramedic watching the video straightened slowly, his expression tightening as he looked from the screen, to Carla, then to me. And his tone changed, no longer just medical. "We're calling this in." For the first time that night, Carla didn't have control anymore. When I woke up, everything felt wrong, but in a quieter way. No more scraping forks, no more controlled voices, just the steady beep of a monitor and the faint smell of antiseptic. My throat burned, my chest ached like I'd run for miles, but I was breathing, actually breathing. For a few seconds, I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, trying to piece it together. Dinner, the table, Carla's voice telling everyone to keep eating, and then the realization hit all over again. She saw me, and she chose not to help. The doctors filled in the rest. Severe anaphylaxis, life-threatening. My airway had been closing the entire time I sat at that table. Another few minutes, maybe less, and it could have gone very differently. They asked what I'd eaten, and when I told them, there was a pause. A look exchanged between them, because the meal had been cooked in peanut oil. Carla knew about my allergy. It wasn't new. It wasn't unclear. It wasn't something that could be missed. I'd told her. My dad had told her. It had come up more than once. And based on the video, she didn't just see me struggling. She recognized exactly what was happening and still told everyone to keep eating. Later, Ethan came into the room. He looked shaken, pale, still holding his phone like it was the only thing keeping him steady. He didn't say much, just, I didn't know what else to do. But he did. He didn't listen to her, and that changed everything. The video didn't stay in that house. Paramedics handed it over. Reports were filed. Questions started getting asked. Real ones this time. What looked like strict control at dinner suddenly looked a lot more like something else. Something serious. Carla tried to explain it away at first, said she thought I was exaggerating, said she didn't want to overreact, but the video didn't match that. Not the tone of her voice, not the timing, not the fact that she stopped anyone else from helping. My dad watched it, more than once, and each time he got quieter, because it wasn't just what she did, it was what he didn't do. Within days, everything shifted. Carla wasn't allowed to be alone with me. Then she wasn't in the house at all. An investigation started, not dramatic, not loud, but real enough that no one could ignore it anymore. Dinner changed after that. No more forced conversations. No more pretending everything was perfect. Just silence sometimes, and awareness. A few weeks later, I sat at the same table again. Same chair, same spot, but it didn't feel the same. My dad sat across from me, and this time he actually looked at me. Not past me, not through me, at me. And every time I take a breath now, a full one, I think about that night. The moment I couldn't. The moment no one moved, until someone finally did, and didn't listen to her.
If someone can control a room like that in plain sight, how many moments like that get dismissed as nothing, while everyone keep watching and no one steps in?